Today on UI7 Newsbreak, students are preparing for this week's homecoming celebrations.
And qualified students are at risk of not receiving MAP grants next semester.
Plus, the community came together to raise money for a Champaign attorney fighting breast cancer.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
Hello, and welcome to UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Gianna Marzetta.
And I'm Cassidy Williams.
Homecoming is upon us, and students have been taking part in events all week.
Students, alumni, and community members are invited to come to the homecoming block party this Friday, followed by the traditional parade. The celebration will end with orange and blue fireworks being set off in front of Follinger Hall. The Fighting Illini is playing Wisconsin this Saturday at 2:30. If you're looking to start early, the annual party starts at 9 in the morning at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center. It looks like the weather might interfere, though, this weekend with a high chance of rain on Saturday. Before going into this weekend, Campus Police encourages participants to be wary of getting into trouble with the law. We have Joey Gelman in the studio with more.
Thanks, Cassidy. Homecoming weekend in Champaign, Urbana is always a fun weekend, but students and community members need to be on their toes when it comes to making sure safety is priority number one. The U of I campus is getting ready to celebrate one of its most historic events as homecoming weekend is just around the corner. This weekend marks the 105th homecoming celebration on the campus that claims to be the originator for the first collegiate homecoming. Alumni and current students alike will pack the area, but besides the fun and excitement, safety is always the number one concern. University of Illinois Deputy Police Chief Skip Frost says that he needs the community's help to ensure safety during the busy weekend.
It's harder to spot that suspicious activity. So again, we depend on our community to let us know if they see something, they should say something.
The increase of people is not the only safety concern this weekend. Alcohol can become one of safety's worst enemies. Frost says that the level of intoxication has hit an extreme level unlike years before, and knows it can be dangerous on two levels.
Alcohol plays a huge part in not only being a victim, but it also plays a huge part in being an offender as well. So, we try to promote the idea of responsibility. If you're going to choose to do this, do so in a manner that's not going to get you or somebody else hurt.
While the U of I Police Department is still doing everything they can to ensure homecoming safety this weekend, there are still concerns from some students.
Probably the fact that I thought I would see a lot more cops out, but there's never really a lot of policemen. I don't really see a lot of police out ever, but I still think it's pretty safe.
The UIPD will not be increasing their resources nor number of officers this weekend, but as Frost puts it, Saturday will be an all-hands-on-deck day. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joey. Students that receive the MAP grant may not be receiving the same funding next semester. UI7's Alejandra Reyes has more.
Students throughout the state may not be receiving financial aid through the State Illinois Monetary Award Program next semester if the budget stalemate continues. Student Lilia Garcia says she feels frustrated with the situation.
No, I feel like now if I don't have any grants for second semester, that I would be put in a lot more debt, and I would have regretted choosing a university.
Director of the University of Illinois Financial Aid Office, Dan Mann, says there are nearly 5,800 students receiving the MAP grant for the 2015-2016 academic school year.
The average award received by U of I students is nearly $4,500. Former MAP grant student Jesus Monroy says he empathizes with current MAP students and hopes the state awards funding for higher education.
We really need more involvement from the state to help our voices be heard and to make sure that we are getting the services that we require to be in places of higher education.
Mann says the Office of Student Financial Aid is prepared to work with students and their parents if MAP funding will not be available next semester. I'm Alejandra Reyes, UI7 Newsbreak.
I heard a bunch of students took a bus up to Springfield actually yesterday to talk about the budget at the Capitol.
Yes, and also this morning, the acting chancellor sent an email thanking students for their efforts and for participating in the event as well.
Oh wow, I wonder if anything had happened. After the break, a peace march took place in Jerusalem to protest Israeli and Palestinian conflict over the Gaza Strip.
Plus, the Champaign Park District invited community members out to give the Spalding Skate Park a fresh new look.
Oh, sweetheart. Gonna give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Greg, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
This is my computer.
This is your computer. Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. Racing done.
She's gonna love me all over again.
That's it. Jamaica, here you go.
Here we go.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.
In international news, a peace rally took place in Jerusalem in response to the violence between Israelis and Palestinians. UI7's Shannon Kelly has the full report.
For decades between Israelis and Palestinians, the latest acts of violence occurred on Saturday when there were 5 knife attacks. Because of this, hundreds of Israelis and Palestinians held a combined peace march to stand up to this controversy. One participant says communication is crucial in order for change to occur.
We have to talk. We have to start communicating with each other so we will have a true solution. We have to do it for our sake, for our children's sake. The Israeli side and the Palestinian side, same.
During the march, participants carried a banner that said "Standing Together." They walked the streets of Jerusalem playing drums, carrying signs, and chanting for change. The hope for the protest was to address the conflicts in a peaceful way. Violence has been prevalent in Jerusalem with almost 50 deaths reported in October. Many citizens live in fear, and this is a concern for many political leaders, including President Obama.
We're very concerned about the outbreak of violence that initially is centered on Jerusalem, but we always are concerned about the spread of violence elsewhere. We condemn in the strongest possible terms violence directed against innocent people.
Although the violence will not end overnight, the peace rally was a step in the right direction.
People are willing to come out to the streets and say, this is worth my Saturday night. The future here is worth my Saturday night. My children and their children and our collective children are worth my Saturday night. That gives me hope. That doesn't happen every day.
I'm Shannon Kelly, UI7 Newsbreak.
In Syria, over 2 million children have lost their homes and families. This issue seems far away, but Americans are making a difference. Ellen Billard, a co-founder and executive director of Road to Mafraq, spoke at U of I on Thursday. She hopes to educate students on this problem. Billard traveled to Mafraq, a small Syrian town, to hear refugee stories. Her heart touched by the kids, she decided to make a difference. She created Wings for Dreams, a national fundraising campaign part of her nonprofit, Road to Mafraq. Billard says they have lost their homes, their toys, their friends, their families, and ultimately their country. Let's make sure they don't lose their dreams. Abdul Al-Humedi, U of I student, has Middle Eastern relatives. He knows firsthand that Syrian refugees do not have equal opportunities, or really any opportunity at all.
I have a cousin who's in Germany right now. He just completed his bachelor's in chemistry, but couldn't do anything about it and had to go to Germany. Now he just works at an airport terminal as one of those guys directing traffic. So it's very brutal.
Al-Humedi's cousin is just one story. Billard nationally advocates this campaign promoting Syrian children's education. Al-Humedi and Billard both hope that one day children can overcome the hardships of war and achieve their dreams. The 9th Annual Disability Resource Expo was recently held at the Fluid Events Center in Champaign. This year's theme was Reaching Out for Answers, and organizers did just that by allowing companies and organizations to show their services and products. Vendor displays consisted of products that help enable people with physical and mental disabilities. Cars, service dogs, and a wheelchair that adjusts to a standing position were among the resources highlighted at the expo. There was also art on display that was created by people with disabilities. If you or someone you know would like to know about the resources offered at the expo, visit disabilityresourceexpo.org for more information.
The community came together to show support for a Champaign attorney battling against breast cancer. UI7's Claire Lavazorio has more on the story.
Lindsay Clark is nothing short of a successful woman. At 37 years old, she is an assistant state's attorney for Champaign County. She is married and has 2 young daughters. This past summer, Clark was diagnosed with a unique type of stage 4 breast cancer.
And I learned that it had metastasized to my bones, which is why I can't have surgery and I can't do all the normal steps that most people can take.
When Clark broke the news, her coworker Kim Ritchie was devastated. Ritchie understood the importance of seeing your own children grow up.
She's got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And knowing that she's not going to be able to see those milestones, it broke my heart.
Following her diagnosis, one of Lindsay's closest friends at the courthouse wanted to do whatever she could to raise money for her future medical expenses. Ritchie created a funding page for Clark and put her name in countless benefit auctions, all of which fell through. She found the city of Champaign was willing to donate Fat City Bar and Grill for a fundraising event. Ritchie said the support that she received from everyone was overwhelming.
I had never been in here. I realized how large it was. I thought that we could turn this into something big. And as soon as I sent an email out that I wanted to do this, it flew like wildfire.
Hundreds of friends, family, and coworkers came pouring into the bar to fundraise for Clark, all wearing shirts to support her fight. An item auction, raffles, and band helped raise money for her treatment.
I feel really good, and I did not expect this many people at all to ever be here and support me.
In Champaign, I'm Claire Lavazorio, UI7 Newsbreak.
People of all ages braved cold temperatures to participate in Champaign's annual 5K Color Run. The run is deemed the happiest 5K on the planet. The event promotes healthiness and happiness by bringing the community together. Volunteers sprayed runners with dyed cornstarch at certain stations throughout the course, and about halfway through, everyone was covered in blue from head to toe. Participants were able to register as a team to complete the race with friends and family. Donations from the race were given to United Way of Champaign County. United Way provides grant funding to over 50 nonprofits in the area.
One of our local skate parks got a fresh new look this weekend with a little help from 4 featured artists, not to mention a few cans of spray paint. The Champaign Park District invited community members of all ages to attend a paint jam at Spalding Skate Park on Saturday. Many skateboarders brought their boards to practice their skills. A few bikers even came to show off while the artists were at work. Participating artists used paint and other materials to spruce up the 18,000 square foot course. By the end of the paint jam, it had received a full facelift. The event was free and family friendly. Children had access to their own personal graffiti wall to paint, and there was an inflatable bounce house on site. Spalding Skate Park is open 7 days a week. All board and inline skaters can enjoy the park's 3 bowls, snake run, and exciting street course at no cost.
That's all for this UI7 Newsbreak.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.